Hi, in this short video today, I wanted to cover how you can use Clay in order to find the meta ad library of your prospects. And the reason we want to do so is because if they run ads, it typically means that they are spending on ads, they have a budget to run ads in order to bring in leads, which might also mean that they have some sort of lead generation problem as well, and there might be a demand for, let's say, marketing services as a result. Okay, so it is a very good intent signal that you can use in your outreach campaigns, and it works for any kind of industry or niche, actually, not just e-commerce companies as I'm showing here, but also even for like software companies, as well as basically any other companies that sell B2B or B2C services or even products. Okay, so what I have here is a list of e-commerce companies, and I have already gone ahead and come up with the company Facebook link already. This is all just from Apollo, and it can be script using something like, export Apollo. Okay, so this is the company Facebook link of all of the companies that I'm interested in. So essentially, I think the whole process of getting the meta ad library can be summarized into three main steps, which I'll go through each of them in further detail later. First, you want to get the Facebook transparency page of each of these company Facebook page URL, okay? And then you want to leverage this software called Serper. We will call the API within Clay itself. And this basically allows us to scrape the transparency page in order to get the page ID of the meta ad library. Okay, and then from there we are able to extract the meta page ID, and then we use that to append it to the meta ad library link in order to find the respective link for each company. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into the whole process here. So first of all, I did some cleaning up and formatting of the links for the company Facebook page. I essentially just got it to include the HTTPS because in our API call to have to include this for each of the calling. Okay. Okay, so once that is done, I outputted it into a new column here. Okay, and then I proceeded to concatenate the about profile transparency, which is essentially just the transparency page of each of the Facebook page link into the URL if it exists. Okay, this is again using a Clay formula that you can also just key in the instructions here and then it will generate for you. So it's pretty straightforward, and then you can look at the result to see if it's accurate. Okay, so once that is done, I called Serper using a HTTP post request. So for those who aren't as familiar with HTTP and API requests, an API is basically just a way for you to either send data or get data from other software. Okay, it's called application programming interface. So it basically allows you to interchange any sort of data. Think of it like a train station to transport goods to and fro. Okay, so it's similar here but for data. So a post request is basically just sending data over. We want to send the Facebook page link, that Facebook transparency page link to Serper first, and then from Serper we are able to get the page ID. So how does Serper look like? This is essentially just a really simple interface for it. Okay, and if I'm not wrong, when you sign up with a free account, you can get like 2.5k credits already, so it's very generous. Each API call is probably about 10 credits only, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so what you want to do in the HTTP API request on Clay. So all of this, to recap a bit, you can just add enrichment here and then, or rather you can just add enrichment here, and then you can just type in either formula, or rather I think a simpler option is just you can just use add column and then just include. So this is for the formula, and then if you want this HTTP API, you can just pretty much type it in and then it will show you. So you can do a lot of things with this, including getting data, updating data as well. So the endpoint I'm calling here is just script.serper.dev to serper. The body, I just include the URL with the Facebook transparency page of each of the rows, and then the headers, it will just be the API key as well as the content type. Okay, I won't be showing the API for obvious reasons. You can get the API once you sign up for your account as well, and then use that. Okay, so the headers is essentially just a way for them to know what kind of content type that you're sending over. Okay, so once we call the post request, I will pass the JSON response from Serper itself, and then use a regex a regular expression match in order to get the page ID. And the reason we want to do that is because the full JSON response is actually pretty long. So this is an example here. So it's a web page type of search, and then I included like a sample URL here. And as you can see, the response is very long. So what the formula is trying to do is just get the ID right before the text page ID. Okay. So once that is done, it is imported into all of the columns here. Finally, the last step is just to include this page ID into the meta add library URL itself. So it is just a very simple concatenation of the page ID to this URL. Okay, and then as you can see, it will link you to the meta add library directly. Yep. So I hope this video has been helpful in helping you to get a better idea of how you can use Clay, again one of its many use cases, to get the meta add library, which can be very significant as a intent trigger in showing you which companies invest in ads currently, which might indicate that they have a lead generation problem or they are just trying to grow their business with more marketing. So it will give you a good idea of that. Okay, so I hope the video has been valuable. Let me know if you have any other content that you would like to check out. And if you do want to sign up with Clay to try out any of these integrations, I believe it has over 100 plus integrations right now. And you can do a lot of very different formulas and API calls within it as well to enrich your lead list further. So if that's of interest, you can sign up using the link below and you can get 3,000 free credits with my link as well. Okay, thank you and till the next time.